Welcome back to English class. The last video we were in the fourth lesson. Today we are going to continue the same lesson. We have completed 3 pages. Today I am going to begin the fourth page with a new paragraph. Before that, let's do the recap what we learned in the previous video. This story highlights how a Japanese doctor saves the life of an American prisoner of war and rises above narrow national prejudice. He risks his honor, career, position, and life by sheltering a war prisoner of the enemy camp and saving his life. Author has beautifully portrayed the conflict in the doctor's mind as a private individual, as a citizen with sense of national loyalty. This setting of this story takes place on a coastal town of Japan in the year 1941 when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, a war going on between America and Japan. Japanese were hostile to the Americans and ready to kill any American found in their soil. And the theme of this lesson is the enemy gives a message that humanism transcends all man-made prejudice and barriers. Dr. Sadao upholds the ethics of medical profession in treating an enemy. The story is a great lesson for peace, love, sympathy, and fellow feeling and humanism. The characters in this story are Dr. Sadao Hoki. He is a Japanese doctor trained by Americans. Second character in this story is Sadao's father, much concerned about his son's education, a true patriot. And Hannah, wife of Dr. Sadao, met in America, become friends, and got married in Japan. Tom, an American prisoner of war, a soldier of US Navy. Fifth character in this story is the all general, a sick Japanese army general needed an operation, trusted only Dr. Sadao. Sixth character in this story, an officer, a messenger of the general. Seventh character in this story is gardener, an old gardener in the house of Dr. Sadao. Eighth character, Imi, Hannah's maid servant. Ninth character, the cook, an old cook in the house of Dr. Sadao. The place of this story held in the house of Dr. Sadao, a house built on a narrow beach near the sea. So we will begin today the next page. Here we have completed till third page and we are going to start the fourth page. Here it goes. Yes, it was white man. The wet cap fell away and there was his wet yellow hair, long as though for many weeks it had not been cut, and upon his young and tortured face was a rough yellow beard. He was unconscious and knew nothing that they did for him. So in this paragraph, it says that the injured man was an American. As his cap fell off, they saw his wet yellow color hair, which had not been cut for a long time. He was young. His face had such marks which indicated that he had been tortured. He had a rough, unkempt yellow colored beard. As he had fainted, he did not know the presence of Sadao and Hannah. I am going to read the next paragraph now. Now Sadao remembered the wound and with his expert fingers he began to search for it. Blood flowed freshly at his touch. On the right side of the lower back, Sadao saw that the gun wound had been reopened. The flesh was blackened with powder. Sometime, not many days ago, the man had been shot and had not been tended. It had bad chance that the rock had struck the wound. Here, tended means cared for or looked after. So here, tended means what? Cared for and looked after. In this paragraph, it explains in this way that Sadao was reminded that the man was wounded as he had been blood stains on the sand. As he was a doctor, he moved his trained fingers around the man's back to search for the wound. He felt blood coming out of the wound in the lower part of his back. It was a gunshot. The man had been injured a few days ago. He had not got any medical help to treat the wound as he had himself used some black colored powdery substance on it. The sharp rocks on the shore had pierced it and so it was bleeding. Next paragraph. Oh, how he is bleeding, Hannah whispered again in a solemn voice. The mist screened them now completely, and at this time of day no one came by. The fisherman had gone home, and even the chance beachcombers would have considered the day at an end. Here, solemn means what? Serious and concerned. Solemn means what? Serious and concerned. Here, beachcomber means a vagrant who makes a living by searching beaches for articles of value and selling them. I repeat, beachcomber means what? A vagrant who makes a living by searching beaches for articles of value and selling them. And in this paragraph, it explains in this way that Hannah was concerned that the man was injured and said in a very low voice that he was bleeding. The mist had intensified now. The three of them could not be spotted by anyone. Moreover, the fisherman and the pickers did not visit the place at that time of the day. Now, next paragraph. What shall we do with this man? Sadao muttered. But his trained hands seemed of their own will to be doing what they could to stand the fearful bleeding. He packed the wound with the sea moss that strewed the beach. The man moaned with pain in his stomach and he did not awaken. So here muttered means what? Speak in a very low voice. Stanch means stop or restrict. Here a flow of blood from a wound. Sea moss means a kind of seaweed and stir means what? Scattered untidily over a place or area. Maud means your low cry in pain. Maud means what? A low cry in pain. Stupor means what? A state of unconsciousness. A state of unconsciousness. And the next paragraph. The best thing that we could do would be put him back in the sea, Sadao said, answering himself. Now that the bleeding was stopped for the moment, he stood up and dusted the sand from his hands. Yes, undoubtedly, that would be best, Hannah said steadily, but she continued to stare down at the motionless man. If he shuttered a white man in our house, we should be arrested and we turn him over as a prisoner. He would certainly die, Sadao said. The kindest thing would be to put him back into the sea, Hannah said. But neither of them moved. They were staring with a curious repulsion upon the inert figure. Here, repulsion means what? A strong dislike. Inert means what? Motionless. So, in this paragraph, it says that Sadao answered to himself and said that the best thing was to put the man back into the sea. As the bleeding stopped, he stood up and removed from the dust from his hands. Hannah supported by his opinion but looked intently at the man as he lay still. Sadao said that if they gave him shelter, they would be arrested him over to the Japanese army as a prisoner. Then he would die in the prison. As he thought that both the options were not favorable, so the best option was to put him back into the sea. Hannah added that the kindest act for them was to put him back into the sea. Both of them did not move ahead to do so. Rather, they stared at the motionless finger with dislike. They disliked him because he was an enemy and American. What is he? Hannah whispered. There is something. There is something about him that looks American, Sadao said. He took up the battered cap. Yes, there, almost gone, was the faint lettering. A sailor, he said, from an American warship. He spelled it out, U.S. Navy. The man was a prisoner of war. Here, battered means torn and worn out. So Anna was insecure as she asked about the man's identity. Sadao replied that he appeared to be an American. He picked up the torn cap and read the words written on it, which were slightly visible. He said that the man was a sailor from an American warship and read out the words U.S. Navy written on the cap. They concluded that the man had been taken into captivity during the war. He has escaped, Hannah cried softly, and that is why he is wounded. In the back, Sadao agreed. So here in this small package says that the Sadao and Hannah discussed that the man had tried to escape from the prison and had been shot in the back. They hesitated, looking at each other. Then Hannah said with resolution, "Come, are we able to put him back into the sea?" So they were not able to gather the courage to throw him into the sea. Hannah called upon the Sadao with firmness. She asked him if he was ready to put him into the sea. "If I am able, are you?" Sadao asked. "No," Hannah said, "but if you can do it alone." Here in this, what the discussion is going between the Sadao and Hannah. Sadao told her that he was able to do so because and asked that did Hannah have the courage for it. Hannah replied in the negative and added that if he could not do it by himself, then she had to help him. Sadao assisted again. Strange thing is, he said that if the man were whole, I could turn him guilty. I care nothing for him. He is my enemy. All Americans are my enemy, and he is only a common fellow. You see how foolish his face is. But since he is wounded. In this story, in this paragraph, it explains in this way that Sadao was reluctant in throwing the man into the sea. He reasoned that if the man was well and he could hand him over to the police without any hesitation, he added that he was not concerned about the man and considered him to be an enemy as he was an American. He commented that the injured man was a common man as his face looked as if he was a foolish person. He wanted to say that he was not bothered about the injured man, but his only concern was that he was wounded. Yes, you also can't throw him back to the sea, Hannah said. Then there is only one thing to do. We must carry him into the house. In this, Hannah said that if he could not throw him into the sea, then the second option was to carry him home. So, but the servant Sadao enquired. So, Sadao was concerned about the servants would object as they would shelter an enemy. We must simply tell them that we intend to give him to the police, as indeed we must, Sadav. We must think of the children and your position. It would endanger all of us if we did not give this man over as a prisoner of war. Suddenly, Sadav agreed. I would not think of doing anything else. So Anna said to Sadav that they would tell them that they to the servant that they intend to hand him over to the police. Once he recovered, she told him that they must do that. She added that they must consider their children's future and Sadav's position. If they did not hand over a prisoner of war into the police, they would be in danger. Sadav replied that certainly he would do so, and he did not think of doing anything else. Thus agreed to uh, next paragraph. Thus agreed Thus agreed together, they lifted the man. He was very light, like a fowl that had been half-starved for a long time until it is only feathers and skeleton. So his arms hanging, they carried him up the steps into the side door of the house. This door opened into a passage, and down the passage they carried the man was an empty bedroom. Fowl means your cock or hen. So Sadav and Hannah lifted this injured man into the house. He was very light. The writer compares his weight to to of an hen that has not been fed for a long time, and his body loses flesh and reduces into a mere feathers and skeleton. And the man's army were hanging, and the Duke carried him up to the steps into the side door of the house. Door opened into the passage, and they went down the passage towards an empty bedroom. It had been the bedroom of Sadav's father, and since his death, it had not been used. They laid the man on the deeply matted floor. Everything here had been Japanese to please the old man, who could never in his own home sit on a chair or sleep in a foreign bed. Hannah went to the wall cupboard and slid back a door and took out a soft quilt. She hesitated. The quilt was covered with flat silk, and the lining was pure white silk. So this bedroom was belonged to Sadav's father and had not been used after his death. The injured man was laid on the thick mat on the floor. The writer describes the room. Everything in the room was Japanese, as Sadav's father disliked foreign things. Hannah took to the cupboard in the wall and took a soft quilt. She resisted putting it on the injured man. The cloth was made of silk and flowery print on it, and the lining was made of pure white silk. He is so dirty, she murmured in distress. Yes, he had better be washed, Sadav agreed. If you will fetch hot water, I will wash him. Distress means your sadness. So she was sad and spoke very slowly that the man was very dirty. Sadav said that the man had to be washed. Sadav asked Hannah to get hot water so that he could wash the man. I can't bear for you to touch him, she said. We shall have to tell the servant he is here. I will tell Yumi now. She can leave the children for a few minutes and she can wash him. Hannah did not want that the Sadav should touch the man. So she said that they would ask the servant to wash the injured man. She would call Yumi to leave the attending the children for a few minutes and wash them. Sorry, wash him. Sadav considered a moment. Let it be so, he agreed. You tell Yumi and I will tell the others. But the utter pallor of the man's unconsciousness face